Welcome everyone to Tech4Eva's Roadshow on investor matchmaking. My name is Amalia da Fonseca. I'm the marketing officer of Tech4Eva at EPFL Innovation Park in Switzerland. So we have a great program ahead. We will have 3 pitching sessions. The first one with 7 startups from the prevention and oncology sector, moderated by Yael Alamish from Nina Capital. Then we will have 6 startups from menstrual, reproductive, and maternal health sector, and moderated by Dominique Carrotsos from Unbiased Street Ventures. And last but not least, 4 startups from the healthy aging, general health, and wellness will be pitching and moderated by Daniel Koppelkam from Convergence Partners AG. And we will finish with closing remarks. So Tech4Eva is a Swiss-based startup accelerator program founded in 2021 by the foundation EPFL Innovation Park in Switzerland and Groupe Mutuel, which is a Swiss insurance company. As it was created during COVID, we kept it global because it allows us to attract international founders and international attendees to our events, and it's an equity-free program. So how we help these startup founders? We try to organize several events during the year. So workshops taking place in a monthly basis, conferences, and roadshows like this one, where they can meet potential customers, investors, and partners. We have a great pool of mentors coming from the business and corporate world. We actually have 40 mentors to support our startup founders. And we have a great femtech community, and we try to engage with them almost every day. So this is our femtech solution portfolio. Since our creation in 2021, we have 94 alumni startups sorted here by the sector. 25 of them are Swiss startups, and the others come from all over the world, mainly Europe, but South and North America as well, Asia, and we have a few coming from South Africa. So here are some numbers. So we are now coming in the 4th year of our existence, and our alumni raised 190 plus million dollars. We have a few resources, but we really try to make a lot of activities, a lot of events, as I said before. And we have as well a great community. We try to make online events, but as well physical events to gather people and to meet people in real life. As I said, we organize several events which take place online and physical. Here are some examples of events that we participated in. For example, VivaTech, which is a tech event taking place in spring. And in 1 week, we will join the Frontiers Health event, which will take place in Berlin, and some of our startups will be presenting. Then for the focus of this year, we help fundraising and go-to-market for this cohort. We really encourage corporates to engage to support women's health in the workplace. For example, we organized a roadshow 2 weeks ago on where women's health meets workplace well-being. And next week, no, maybe not next week, on 21st of October, we will do a workshop with SIGPA on supporting women's health in the workplace. We want to really communicate the impact of our alumni on women's health. We are always looking for partners. So if you have an idea of you want to help us, to let us know. And we are currently drafting an impact brochure, which is soon coming out. And our last goal is to integrate femtech solutions into healthcare systems, which can be hospitals and insurance companies, for example. So this is our network partners. You might recognize some of them. Some of them are Swiss and others are international, which allows us to amplify our voice all around the world. And this is for our 2024 cohort. We have 17 startups and 11 countries are here represented. So now we will go to the main part of this event, so the pitching sessions. We will start with the prevention and oncology field, and I will pass the mic to Yael Alamis.
Hi, everyone. So I'll kick off with a presentation today. So I'm Michal, I'm from Nino Capital. We are a VC based in Barcelona, but investing across multiple geographies in health technology companies at the pre-seed and seed stages. And I'm here to introduce the startups that are working on in the oncology and prevention space. So how we'll do it is we'll have let's try to keep it to 3 to 4 minutes each, and then we'll leave a minute or two for questions. So I'll also take the timing for each deck. And to start things off, the first company that we have today is CareNX. And please forgive me if I get everyone's names differently, so excuse me for that. But the founder, Aditya, if you can start with your pitch deck.
Sure. Thanks, Sahel. Let me put my presentation on the screen. Is it visible to all?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Sure. So, hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm Dr. Aditya Kulkarni from India, founder and CEO of CareNX Innovations, a women health technology startup out of India. Today, I'll be talking about Cindy-Colpo, which is our patented technology for instant cervical cancer screening. Cindy-Colpo is at technology readiness level 5, which means it is under multicentric validation right now. We chose to work in global problem of cervical cancer because in countries like India, the mortality because of cervical cancer is second to the breast cancer. Every year, only 2% of female get screened. And as all of us know, that despite being preventable type of cancer, because of not being identified early on, most of the women suffer from painful process of getting cervical cancer. So our idea was to understand the reason behind low screening rate. So there are two major techniques which are being used in India. On one hand, we have commonly used visual assessment techniques, which are like pap smear or colposcopy or VILI, in which subjectivity is involved, and they depend highly on the expertise of the doctor performing the screening, and hence they suffer from less accuracy. On other side, we have gold standard techniques, which are in terms of like HPV DNA, which are lab-based tests. However, as all of us understand that all these labs cannot be made available at every periphery, and that is why screening doesn't happen. So when we spoke to a lot of doctors and oncology gynecologists, we learned that in India, in order to increase screening rates, we need a technology which brings both best from both worlds. On one side, it should be portable, scalable, on field. On other hand, it should be free from the expertise need, as well as should provide instant results. And hence we developed a point of care technology based on smartphone. As you can see it in the picture, a small handheld device which takes images of the cervix from speculum and screens those images, and our AI on top of it identifies the cancerous lesions in order to provide instant screening result. This technology, Syndicolpo, is unique in two ways. It does not require any darkroom effect to operate, and hence it is useful on field screening. Second, it provides accurate measurements even when the cancerous lesions are hidden and are not visible through naked eyes. We have come to a stage where we did clinical trials with one facility, achieved 100% sensitivity and 83% specificity. We also published these results and got regulatory license, after which we partnered with some credible organizations in order to increase specificity from 83% to 95% using certain AI-based techniques. Our business model will be very simple. We want to launch this device at a very low price and earn recurring revenue in terms of per test screening. In order to launch this device in Q1 of next fiscal year, we are raising a bridge fund of $275,000. If we achieve this, we will be targeting at least $1 million of revenue by mid of 2025-2026. We have been globally recognized for the innovation, and we are looking after a strategic investment partner so as to take this technology to market. Thank you so much.
Good. Now, if there are any questions from the audience, please jump in.
If that's okay to ask you, I was just wondering about the size of it because I didn't see a lot of indication about the size, easy to operate, but it seems in this picture pretty big. And as a woman, I'm just like concerned about the size of it. So I was just wanting to know more information about the technical specificities.
Sure. So as you can see, it operates in a non-invasive fashion. It does not get inserted anywhere. The speculum is at the face of this particular device. From the speculum itself, it takes images. The weight of the device is around 1 kilogram with smartphone, and the dimensions are like I would say 10 centimeter by 25 centimeter in height.
Okay, thank you.
There is also one question in the chat, but maybe if you can.
Is the size being reported as compared to biopsy? Yes, the results include SWED scoring, include classification of different CIN classes, as well as all those results which biopsy provide. So we are actually producing the same report card as per the biopsy.
Okay, and if there are no more questions, I can add one just in terms of stages of early diagnostics, let's say. So at what stage is the sensitivity kicks in?
It's at pre-screening stage, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, and we're at time. So thank you very much, Aditya. And we'll move forward to our next founder from Calico Biosystems, which is
Yes.
Mary Agnes.
Good afternoon. So let me share this slide. So good afternoon, everyone. Let's talk about cancer. You and I, we all have family members and friends with cancer. In the next decade, cancer will kill 1 in 6 women. If we want to win the battle against cancer, you and I need a game changer. So I'm Agnès Doucet, CEO and co-founder of Calico Biosystems. And today I will tell you how we are predicting life-changing drugs for cancer patients. So the problem we are addressing is the poor efficacy of anti-cancer drugs. Only 10% of patients benefit from approved drugs, And more than 95% of newly developed drugs will fail due to a lack of efficacy, despite each one of these drugs costs $1 billion to develop. So why is that? It is because the preclinical model we use for efficacy testing are artificial and they fail to recapitulate the complexity of patient tumor. We have developed a solution called CaliPower. We test drug in patient tumor and not any longer using this artificial model system. Because we use patient tumor for efficacy testing, we can reliably predict drug efficacy in patients, and therefore we de-risk clinical testing and shave the cost of drug development by 43%. CaliPowers, our main sellable product, has 3 USPs. First, we preserve the tumor ecosystem and architecture, and we can test any drug and drug combination, whatever the target and the mechanism of action. We have generated our own multidimensional metrics to assess drug efficacy, and most importantly, the efficacy measure with CaliPower match the efficacy with the clinical response in patients. And that we have measured in 7 studies using more than 250 patient tumors. Invest now 3 million in Calico Biosystem. We will be the leader in preclinical testing by 2029. Our customers are drug developers, and we are addressing the preclinical and early clinical stage market with a value of $20 billion per year. We are currently focusing on proof of commercialization, and starting mid-2025, we will grow our business through strategic partnering, mostly in the US. We have a source of revenue, our product sales, and then starting year 3, we will establish long-term deals with large pharma corporations. We have already secured $0.25 million for the first year and need an additional capital of $3 million to support our growth and innovation. In 2029, we exit with an average EBIT of $7.7 million and accumulated net cash flow of $44 million. We have assembled a very strong team that supports our business with key stakeholders of the public and private sector. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, questions from the crowd. Anyone? I think it's a very complex product. Okay, I can jump in and ask a question because there are 2 pieces here. There is the asset identification and the asset development, right? Because in the process of doing this, you might find a drug that might create a lot of value for someone. So where do you sit in that range? Do you expect to take actually fees of the assets being the drug that are developed? Do you expect to own them maybe even? So where do you sit there?
Yeah, so we're not drug developer. We're testing the drug efficacy with our platform directly on patient tumor. And we wish to establish long-term deals with large pharma in order to have recurrent revenues and taking royalties on the drug development. Also, I did not describe here, but we have a digital platform to assist in the identification of the potency of the drugs through a portal. And this is a product that will be ready in 2025, and that will work through a subscription of the pharma. So basically, we have 2 ways of generating revenues, selling our product, and having long-term deals with privileged pharma partners.
Okay. Anyone else with a question?
Yes, I also have a question. So I'm wondering how scalable is this solution, like, and what exactly are you using for screening is it like a cell-based model or?
It is not a cell-based model. So we have developed a solution by which we take patient tumor and we process them minimally, distribute in test tube, apply the drugs, and measure the response of the drug, response of the tumor to the drug in the test tube. We use hundreds of experimental readouts that we put in our proprietary algorithm to determine the drug efficacy. So, yes, sorry, go ahead.
How long does it take you, like, for this process? That's what I'm asking for, the scalability, like how many?
So to test 20 tumors with 6 different conditions of treatments, we need 7 days. So this is a fast process that we have automated we have end-to-end automation in the handling of the patient tumor and the experimental pipeline, but also in the data analysis pipeline. So this is relatively quick, and in the future, it can be positioned also in the clinical space.
I see.
So the scalability is also coming from the fact that we do not work exclusively with fresh patient material, but mostly with frozen patient material. So we have developed our proprietary freezing solution and can use patient tumor from any place in the world and put them in our platform for drug testing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, and we're at time. So we're moving on to CC Diagnostics and Note. CC Diagnostic? Yes.
Can you already see my screen?
Yes, we do.
One moment. Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Nutte van Belzen, Chief Medical Officer at CC Diagnostics. My slide's not sharing. One moment.
We can see your slide.
Yeah, it's not moving. Here it is. Sorry. Cervical cancer is the 4th most common cancer in women globally. Current screening methods lead to misdiagnosis and cost 800 million in healthcare costs. Like, for example, my wife. Her test indicated she had cervical cancer, but after invasive procedures, biopsies, and weeks of waiting, worrying, and stress, she found out that the cytology test was incorrect. Screening starts with the HPV test, often using a self-collected sample. If positive, the woman undergoes a cervical scraping, needed for the cytology test. There are 3 big problems with this triage methods. First, it misses 25% of cancers. As women need to go to the doctor for the scraping, only 15% participates, and the capacity is limited due to manual testing via microscope. To address these issues of cytology, we developed the Medica-CC kit, a PCR-based test that detects DNA damage leading to cancer. It's performed in a lab on the same self-collected material used for the HPV test, and allowing women to participate with the screening from their own homes, like for example my wife. We solved the 3 problems of current screening. We have tested more than 4,000 samples, showing 25% superiority over the current cytology test. And we improve participation and accessibility with our self-sampling compatibility. We reduce the time spent by lab personnel towards 1 minute per test. The triage market is currently growing and will reach 1 billion within 4 years. Labs are moving towards molecular diagnostics, but our current existing competitors, they're not accurate enough. They require 6 times more manual steps, and we showed a statistically significant higher specificity in a one-on-one comparison. We'll start with our own production and direct selling towards private laboratories, and after CE certification, we'll scale with distributors and global partners. We expect to break even in 2026 and then scale our revenue towards 4 million in 2027. With venture capital and non-dilutive subsidies, we've grown our team, validated our product, and the production process. And we'll first enter in the UK and the US, as the local regulations allow for clinical use of our technology before the regulatory approval. Our first paying customers will implement our minimal viable product before the end of the year. And as market is 70% controlled by government tenders, we'll need to collaborate with HPV supplying companies. And during the current discussions on the NDA, they already shown significant interest in our technology. Our core team holds doctors, scientists, business developers, and regulatory experts. We are ready, together with our advisory board, to bring our technology to market. We're currently raising a seed round to cover our clinical implementation studies, QA/RA work, and early commercialization. We're aiming to close the round before the end of the year. Reach out to me if you would like to receive our extended pitch deck and discuss our seed round. Thank you.
Okay, any questions from the crowd? I could start with one. So who is the economic buyer actually? Is it the lab that will buy it? Or because it is reimbursed, but the reimbursement code's a bit different for this type of test. So who's going to pay for it?
Currently, our buyer will be the private laboratories, and depending on the region, so in the US, you'll need a CPT code for it to be reimbursed.
Yeah.
In it works a little bit different, mostly relying on the national screening programs. In the UK, the labs would also need to get their own reimbursement code. So basically, that differs per country, correct?
Okay, and will you use the reimbursement because you're basically taking two tests into one? So will it, because then you need one reimbursement code and the labs will not gain from the second reimbursement code. Is it correct?
It's not fully correct. I think it's good to remember that we don't change the HPV test. The HPV test will stay as it is, but we'll replace the cytology, which is currently done via microscope, and then they can use our technology, which is just PCR based.
Okay. I think we're out of time, so thank you very much. And we'll move forward to Marisa from Deep Look Medical. So Marisa, if you can take charge.
Hi, everybody. Great to see you. I'm Marisa Fayer, the CEO of Deep Look Medical, where we're enhancing medical imaging with revolutionary technology because it's really time to visualize better healthcare. 13% of all screening detectable cancers are missed on today's imaging, and that's because women have dense breasts, 45% of the entire population, so it's absolutely not a niche. And unfortunately, that means over 70% of those dense breast women have cancer. It's just a startling fact that there's 20,000 women walking around the United States right now that have breast cancer and don't know it because their imaging didn't pick it up. The issue really is because dense breasts and dense tissue in general is very hard to see through. It's like looking for the plane in the cloud, and you just can't see it until it pops out. And so image analysis is very subjective and operator dependent. It's also really hard to be a radiologist right now. They're caught in the middle between performance metrics and legal action and best patient care and optimizing insurance coverage. And so what we do, we are the missing puzzle piece that they need. The other technologies that are out there are wonderful and great, and they're all actually really needed, especially in the breast imaging space. The images still need to be taken on a mammogram, an ultrasound, a CT, or an MRI. There needs to be computer-aided detection that are pointing out the areas that the radiologist needs to look at, and there needs to be risk and density and triage scoring. That's all still needs to happen. What we do is we are an overlay, a software technology overlay on top of existing technology so that they can actually see at a lesion level what they're looking at. Because it's hard to be a radiologist and they need help. And so we're seeing through color contrast. A human eye is only a human eye. Radiologists, they're only still humans, but they need a help. And you can see that there's a mass here on the left, but the issue is you can't see that there's growing tail on the top, or the changes in color, or the changes in density, or if something's grown year over year. And so they just need help to visualize, measure, and segment very, very accurately. And so DL Precise, the first technology from Deep Look Medical, we are already FDA cleared. We are commercial. We are integrated into some significant companies that are commercializing and working with us to commercialize our product. The differentiator is that we're on demand. You don't have to go to another screen. We are only needed when the radiologist wants us. And so we're measurement, segmentation, shape recognition, visual differentiation. The other part is that we are used throughout the continuum of care for a patient. So mammography, ultrasound, MRI, CT if they need it. And it goes throughout the pathway, and it just is augmenting. the clinical workflows that the radiologists are already using. One of our biggest, most significant partners is Barco. They own the entire medical monitor business with an 80% plus market share. We are integrated into all of their medical grade mammography systems, and it's almost like a new app on a platform that somebody has to download. And the way that we make money is through an annual subscription license. And we're included on their new monitors. Their sales teams can go in and actually sell existing monitors as well. And they're partnered with all of the large OEMs, Hologic, GE, Siemens, Philips, and it's a great add-on. We're also working to partner with GE, Siemens, and Philips, and are in discussions with all of them now. Another great partnership is with Tempest, the massive AI company that just IPO'd. We're in one of their products called Rhesus, which is for clinical trial management. And so at this point, we're raising a $5 million Series A. We've already had our first close about 3 weeks ago. It's at a $12 million pre-money valuation. We have 2.24 million that is open still in this round, which we plan to close by the end of this year. Really, we want to advance our technology. We want to move forward with new products, new modalities. So we're optimizing right now in breast ultrasound, thyroid ultrasound, and we're going to be moving to lung and to liver. We want to expand our sales partnerships. We want to, as we're already FDA cleared and cleared in the UK, Canada, Mexico, and Israel, we want to expand to Europe as well. So we're going to go after CE mark. We want to make sure we have the best of the best, and we want to make sure that we have more scientific papers published. So we're visualizing in healthcare, and we have all the pieces, and we just want to move forward in commercialization so that more women and more people have access to our technology.
Thank you, Marissa. Okay, we have time for one quick question if someone has it.
If nobody else has a question, I would love to ask Marissa. I know there's an Israeli company that's called Mika AI Medical that does the same with mammogram and works with Siemens and GE. So what's your added value in that sense with mammogram? Because if you're not there with ultrasound yet, and we're just starting integration.
Sorry, I just don't know that product. I'll take a look at it. What's it called?
Mika, M-I-C-A AI Medical.
Okay, I will take a look at them. I'm not actually sure. I've been in the mammography space for about 20 years and haven't heard of them, so not sure.
Okay, thank
you.
Okay, thank you. I guess we'll move forward to Giovanna from Hero Support.
Is it okay?
Yes, we can hear it. We can see it.
So, thank you very much. So for the presentation invitation today. So I'm Giovanna Di Pasquale. I'm the CEO of Hero Support, where we produce 3D printed immobilization devices to improve radiation treatments of cancer patients. And our first treatments are for breast cancer. I'm not going to say anything about it. I think we said enough. But what you might not know is that half of these patients will go through radiotherapy. And while we want to target the breast area, we have to take care not to treat also the healthy tissues and the organs at risk. So the prone position is actually the most safe position. So the patient is lying on a table with the breast to be treated hanging through a cutout. I apologize, I checked. So this is though very time-consuming and difficult to reposition the patient the same way because we have decided where the target is and what we have to spare. So as a woman, I thought if one day I get cancer, this is the way I want to be treated. So let's find a solution. And this is actually what we did. So we are capable of producing a bra-like personalized that fits the cutout. So it's no longer the patient that has to adjust to the table, but the table that adjusts to each patient. So the key elements of our technology are the iTable that just received the grant from the US Patent Office. It's a smart way to acquire the data, not only of the breast, but the area around where the patient is lying on the table. This surface scan is sent to us with our proprietary software. We produce the venous shell, print it with a strategic partner or the hospital, and then the hospital can use it with the treatment table for treating the patient. We have shown on a clinical trial in Geneva University Hospital, as we are a spin-off of this hospital, that we can guarantee millimetric positioning in just 2 minutes. This means we can reduce treatment times, it is easy to use, and patients with our solution can have less side effects while improving dignity because the shell is actually covering the breast. Our competitors are not capable of this precise reproducibility from one session to another. Our initial investment is low. We don't need a lot of training for the technician because the hospital uses all their equipment. So our business model is like an espresso. We want the hospital to buy the initial package, which is made of our equipment and other equipment. And then we actually make most of the money from the sales of the shells. That is a recurring revenue. We will start in Switzerland with direct sales. Here, the shells might not be completely reimbursed to the hospital, who are our customers, but in the US, it's the case. Even with a 30%, gain for our distributors, still the hospital can get reimbursed twice the price of the shell. So today, of course, we have an agenda that is very busy, but let's say our main goal is certification. We just got a grant and raised our first 1.1 million. And we are now looking also for an additional 1 million because we are working with hospitals that will very likely become our customers. So we want to prepare also for the sales. We have a strong team that will help us in this. In particular, we have the vice president, ex-vice president of sales and marketing of Varian, that is one of the leading companies in producing radiotherapy equipment. So we believe we can go globally in the future as we want. So with this, I thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Any questions from the crowd? Well, I guess I can ask a question. So in terms of the workflow that is taken into account when you use this, is it the same workflow in every facility? Will they have to do the same things in every facility, or is it unique for specific facilities?
No, it will be the same workflow.
And in terms of adaptation to different type of devices,
yes,
will it need any adaptation?
So actually, the treatment table we are using now and partnering with a Canadian company has been partially adapted to accept our shell. It's already certified. And also our imaging table is made to match this table. So we can match with other products that are on the market. And we can actually produce other immobilization devices for any other type of cancer treatments in the future.
And will hospitals or the centers have to change anything with their current devices or equipment that they use?
So at the moment, if you have one of these tables, you don't need. If you don't have this table, you have to buy it. And the idea is that for other type of localization, we'll want to have a multi-table solution and even probably avoid the surface scan step in part. So today, with this solution, you will have to wait for the shell for the treatment to prepare the treatment. But this is very important because the shell itself modifies the radiation. And you need to know how this works. So we're working on a solution that is different for other type of cancers. And we got some requests from several hospitals for children, for immobilization of the arms and legs, for young people, for sarcomas. So we are actually planning a new patent application. At the moment, we have 3 patent applications, 1 granted in US and 2 pending.
Okay, thank you very much. I will move forward to the next company that we have. We have two more. So Camila from Mammotest.
Hello, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so hi, everyone. My name is Camila de Pamfilis, and I'm here to share the work we do at Mammotest, powered by Boulder. It's a digital solution transforming care delivery by democratizing access to screening and diagnosis and providing an efficient path to treatment. Today, we are focused on breast cancer. And the reason is that breast cancer is the number one cancer worldwide, with 98% survival rate if it is detected at an early stage. Still, 7,000 women die every year of it. 60% of these deaths happen in developing economies, while 80% of them are detected as a late stage with low chances of survival. The root causes are lack of access, quality, and efficiency, due to a global shortage of specialized radiologists and a broken and fragmented system. To address this reality, we developed a modular, comprehensive solution that covers all stages from pre-screening to treatment navigation, combining service and technology to deliver the best patient experience. Our services are pre-screening and screening programs within 24 hours using innovative third-party devices and teleradiology assisted by AI, patient navigation to improve the efficiency throughout the patient journey, guaranteeing also the emotional support and access to diagnosis and oncologic treatment on time, and awareness and training programs for patient generation and healthcare professional development. Our platform leverages AI and structured data to streamline and accelerate the diagnosis and treatment process. We connect offer and demand generation, focusing on B2B and B2G business models. And our targets are medical and primary care centers, healthcare insurance companies, big pharma, and governments that pay either a fee per reported study, a revenue share per referred patient, an AI licensing, or our training programs in our digital academia. By this, we are generating an ecosystem where all stakeholders meet, connect, and benefit from. And it is an ecosystem that generates and collects data while leading systemic change to an efficient, evidence-based healthcare system. We are a team with proven successes that bring together various expertise and forms partnerships around the world. We prioritize continuous innovation, maintaining a strong customer-centric approach and actively exploring new technologies. We have served more than 1 million women so far, raised $5.4 million from strategic investors such as MSD and Johnson & Johnson, and we are already operating in Mexico, Argentina, Costa Rica, and Spain, recently entering the Brazilian market. We've got strong support from strategic partners such as Amazon Web Services and have been globally recognized by United Nations, World Economic Forum, and recently Hub 71, among others. We are closing a round extension of $1.5 million in a convertible note to accelerate our tech development and AI, grow our team, and scale our operations to other pathologies too. Philips Foundation is leading the round with a target closing by end of November, and we have room for a final ticket of $350,000. We are building the path from sick care to healthcare, and this is not a promise, it is already happening, so please join us, and feel free to reach me at any time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Camila. And questions from the audience? Waiting to see who raises their hand. Okay. I guess there's no one, so I'll ask a question.
We have a quiet audience.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. I can ask questions. It's my job. What is the ROI that you're selling for the users?
Sorry?
what is the ROI that you're basically telling the users? So what is the indicator that you measures to show success?
Okay, so yes, even if our model is based on a B2B, we have very close relationship to our final beneficiaries that are our women mainly. And our success rate is on one case, the NPS, the experience of the patients during our patient navigation and during the procedure process, and the amount of studies performed throughout the year. We have a very strong impact on social, a focus on social impact. So we also measure the underserved population we are serving annually. And obviously how our data, how our data size is growing at any time, because we are focusing on a real world evidence model on the mid to long term.
Okay. Is there any other questions from the audience? Okay. Okay, then. I think we'll move on for our last pitch, which is Namida. So, Omid, if you can please.
Certainly. Good morning, good afternoon. Once I can figure out how to put my camera on, you can actually see me. Very good. I'm Omid Moghadam. I'm CEO and founder of Namida. We're a lab company developing omics tests for early cancer detection. We have one product in the market. It's an at-home collection test called ARIA, which is for early detection of breast cancer. So I'm following my two colleagues who talked about breast cancer. So I don't have really to go into the statistics on breast, but cancer is a big problem worldwide, and it's now opening up to younger populations. And interestingly, we would think that rates of screening will go up as a result, but the screening rates are actually going down from a decade ago. Breast cancer, #1 cancer in women, and now 50% of mortality in the US in breast cancer is now in women under the age of 45. And only about a third of women actually stick to the annual screening. Data is hard to come by. Late data is hard to come by, at least in the US healthcare system, but among employers, they're instant. So this is the latest cost structure for dealing with the top 10 issues that employers deal with in the United States. And breast cancer, as you can see, is in the top 10 in all spending bands. And in the 3 top spending bands, it's either #1 or #2. And that has a direct result of the low screening rates, because once cancers are found in later stages, that's when very expensive biologic drugs kick in and that's where the large cost comes in. And as a result, there is a need out there to increase those screening rates. And it was discussed that current standard of care, which is imaging and starting with mammography, has left many gaps in care. The issue of dense breast, it's always in the news, and it's been in the news lately in the United States as a result of some of the FDA actions. And radiology is not scalable. There's just not enough radiologists. And today, missed breast cancers by radiologists is #1 reason physicians get sued in the United States. And it comes with excessive costs. And it also leads to misallocation of resources. A large study by Stanford University Business School showed that most of the resources actually go to women who are the healthiest and are in need of less screening. So what is our solution? Our solution is a lab test detecting protein biomarkers in tears. It's been in 20 years in development in R&D and clinical trials in academia and under company work. We've had 2,000 patients in our clinical trials, and we have won a number of industry awards, including a Gold Edison. And we have a family of 24 patents that are issued worldwide. White tears, they're low cost to collect. They're very easy to collect by the person. They are a filtrate of blood and have a very high dynamic range, which means around 90% of markers that you can find in blood, you can find in tears. But because they're highly concentrated, you can find them a lot less expensively than you can in blood. How it works, it's a very simple process. A kit goes to the house, sample is collected, comes back to us. All information goes into the patient portal, and from there, we navigate and consult. Our strategy, working with employers, health insurance plans, and ACOs to screen more women so we can activate women to increase their rate of screening, finding cancers early, and increase access to care. With employers who work with, we have shown 15x ROI on what they spend with us. What we're raising is $5 million. And 3 million of it is going to go increasing our sales and marketing, some working capital, and filing for FDA clearance and CE marking. Our milestones, basically, we're trying to increase our sales. Oh. And to get to revenue, with this money, we actually get to a cash flow positive status. And we have other cancer tests in the works right now. And but this funding is not going to go to this R&D work. We have another breast cancer test and 5 other type of cancers that we're working on right now. Dedicated team, small, but full of people who have accomplished very similar things in the past. And thank you, and open to questions.
Okay, I think we have time only for one short question, if there is any. Please feel free to speak. Okay. Go for it, Daniela.
Go, Daniela.
Sorry, Giovanna. So I was just quickly, I had a quick question about like, how do you start so it's like a test at home, right? So like, how do you make sure like this information is reliable, right?
The collection is at home. The test comes back to us. And the sample comes back to us and we run it here in our laboratory.
And this is covered by the insurance as well, or is this paid by the patient?
Well, if in our direct-to-consumer channel, it's paid by the patients, but in our B2B channels, it's either paid by the health plan, employer, or in various sort of capitated systems like accountable care organizations in the US, which is I understand that's a creature of the US healthcare system. But basically, the ROI comes from these entities get paid a flat amount of money a year to take care of members. And if they can find cancers early, means that they're not spending as much and they can actually show a profit on that member.
Okay. I'm sure we have many more questions, but we ran out of time and we're actually surpassed it. So thank you everyone for presenting, and I think we'll pass the torch to the next group.
Yes, so welcome, Dominique. You will be moderating this pitching session.
Hi, sorry, I'm having a little bit of tech failure here. Give me 2 seconds. I should be okay. I just jumped off investor panel. Lovely to meet everyone and to listen. I'm battling to see screens, so just please bear with me. I was absolutely fine a second ago.
Sorry?
I was absolutely fine a second ago. My screen was working. Okay, right. Lovely to see everyone. Let's get going on pitches. So we are going to have pitches, if I'm correct. Everyone has, is it 5 minutes? And then we will do, I'll open up Q&A after every pitch or Q&A at the end. Amelie, could you let me know, please? I haven't been instructed.
So as you want, maybe at the end, so we're not
I
really.
always prefer after every pitch, or do you want to do it at the end?
Maybe at the end it's better.
Okay, let's do it at the end. So first up, we have EndoCure. We have Dr. Hadas Ziso at EndoCure. I hope I've said that correctly.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, and thank you for this opportunity. Let me share my screen.
Yes, while you're pulling up your screen, I would just like to share a few lines. EndoCure provides a solution of robotic AI-powered ultrasound imaging and is the first and only one that provides a complete map of endometriosis lesions, enabling the physician to determine the disease stage and tailor personalized treatment. I hope I gave that.
Great, I can go home now.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Over to you.
So yes, absolutely. EndoCure is all about revealing the invisible and impacting the lives of millions of endometriosis patients. So please meet Emma. Emma has been suffering for 11 years from debilitating pain until she was diagnosed with endometriosis. She spent all her savings on this condition, together with this enormous US healthcare burden. She's not alone in this story. 10% of reproductive age women are suffering from the condition. It's 10 times more than all types of cancer together. The problem that we solve is the inadequate diagnosis, where Emma had invisible lesions and therefore they could not detect them in any imaging modality. She was misdiagnosed and being told it's in your head. And this sentence repeats itself, unfortunately, today. To prove them wrong, she had to undergo diagnostic surgical surgery. Our solution, Revelan system, is a robotic AI-powered ultrasound imaging, seamlessly integrating to any off-the-shelf ultrasound. Our robotic arm holds and moves the transducer steadily over the patient's skin, non-invasively without pressing against the tissue, while streaming the data to our software for producing superior resolution in an objective 3D imaging. Eventually, AI will be used to flag the lesions for providing complete diagnosis map, surgery pre-plan for ongoing care in order to stop disease progression once and for all. We already proved it works in preclinical trial model where we detected 1 millimeter lesions in a standard model. We proved superior image quality comparing to the standard vaginal method, where in depth you can see the resolution goes bad and you cannot detect small lesions this way. We also showed superior contrast imaging when this is the standard mode from GE healthcare machine, and this is our method, where you can see the enhanced lesion here. We also scanned the first woman volunteer, where you can see here her MRI with a very low lateral resolution, therefore reconstructed images are very poor. This is our scan of the bladder and the reconstruction, showing 75 higher lateral resolution compared to MRI. So we are very proud of these achievements. Our model is a B2B SaaS model, where most of our revenue will come from the charge per scan. And of course, we have to consider hospital revenues and recognize for that existing combination of CPT codes. As for our time to market, even though we are a medical device, we have a regulatory strategy that brings us super fast to the market, dividing this to 2 stages. First, have the clearance for our hardware based on a predicator that we located, and then after that, have the approval for the complete product with our AI software to flag the lesions. We have done both the market analysis and the tech analysis as for the competitive landscape. We validated this with over 30 physicians that we spoke with worldwide, asking them, would those solutions that are based on biomarker-based tests be sufficient? And they said that mapping is absolutely essential, as for the reasons I mentioned. As for the tech analysis, we are the only solution that by design can produce high 3D image quality with no tissue deformation. So how do we see the future with Revilan? For the patient, no more vicious cycle of trial and error-based treatment, recurrence, late and incomplete diagnosis. No more compromises on her quality of life, her career, and her fertility. Receive superior care with our solution that empowers endometriosis clinics and physicians to diagnose, monitor, and treat more patients on time. I'm lucky to have this amazing team of experts by my side, veterans and experience in the required fields. We have fundraised till date $1 million from both grants and Tech4Eva VC, and I now are looking for matching for a $1 million grant that we will receive from the Israel Innovation Authority for performing and completing our first in-human clinical trial. Thank you, and I'll be happy if you want to reach out and talk more.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ziso. Right. Next up.
Oh, question at the end. So, yeah.
Questions are at the end.
Yeah, I forgot.
And I have many, so I will wait until the end. Right, next up we have Sebastian Alexander of VivoSense Medical. You here, Sebastian?
Yeah, I hear you. Thanks.
Oh, wonderful. Fantastic. So VivoSense Medical Ovular Ring is the most sophisticated menstrual cycle tracker. Interesting. It collects 288 temperature data points per day and uses AI for real-time fertile date detection. Usable for non-hormonal contraception, as well as conception and for menstrual cycle-based training. Success rates are higher than with IVF. Let's hear more.
Wonderful. Thanks for the introduction. Can you see my screen?
We can, yes.
Wonderful. Then it starts. So my name is Sebastian Alexander, founder and CEO of the VivoSense Medical, a pioneer in digital women health. So we started the company 12 years ago, but the research for that, what we do, started more than 20 years ago at the time, to be honest, where nobody was interested in women health, not even digital women health and femtech or something like that. Our main focus is bridging the fertility gap and improving reproductive therapies, because we have a huge gap between the desired family size and the actual family size in Europe, which is a huge problem. And on the other side, in reproductive therapies, we have the problem that just 81% of IVF treatments, for instance, are ineffective, and we have a take-home rate for babies, which is just 90%. So there is a huge medical need for writable methods, increasing the effectiveness in IVF, and especially is suitable for all cycles. So why this is a problem? Because currently, to be honest, the individual biology of the female doesn't play any role in reproductive health standard of care. Because we all have the assumption of a standard female cycle, which is 28-14, so 28 days long, 14 ovulation in the middle. That's what we learned in school. And this is the basis for current all diagnostic and therapies in reproductive healthcare and even in gynecology worldwide. But if we are looking to reality, then we can see that more than 70% of the female population doesn't need that standards, because there's something what we call unique fertility pattern, which means on the opposite that those more than 70% are currently not treating belonging their individual biology. And this was the idea of my father-in-law, Professor Dr. Henry Alexander, one of the pioneers in European IVF in the beginning of the 80s, because he came up with the idea that we need a system which is able to entirely mapping the female cycle using the continuous measurement of core body temperature. And that's our product on the market, Ovular Ring, which is a flexible ring per series with a biosensor, so we can really continuously measuring core body temperature 24/7 if you want, 365 days a year. And with that pure and accurate data, we have the possibility to prevent really daily real-time information about fertility status of the female. And we are suitable for all cycles and lifestyles. We are, since 12 years on the market, a proven CE medical device developed and highly endorsed by gynecologists currently focusing on the German-speaking market. And what is our main story? That our success rate to becoming pregnant is higher than in an IVF. So the possibility to becoming pregnant within 6 months and to get the child at home is higher than in an IVF, with a 94% cost reduction comparing to the costs of an IVF. So that's our main argument. And the reason behind that is that we are able to introduce the individual biology in the diagnostics and in the therapies. We have awarded success. So we are in that year get the 3rd time in a row the award for the best cycle tracker in Germany from a customer survey. So we get citations from researchers that we are the new gold standard in gynecological research. And we are in Germany the only fertility product which is reimbursed by healthcare insurances. So if you want, please join our success story and success record. So we have the biggest worldwide database on continuous measured cycles. More than 8,000 users are used Ovula Ring. As you can see, we are not just focusing on conception. So also we have customers using the product for the support of natural contraception, as well as something what we call cycle diagnostics, so other endocrinological conditions.
Sorry, I need to cut you short there. The 4 minutes is up.
Okay. So I'm finished. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very interesting. And I have some really great questions for you afterwards. So we'll hopefully cover what wasn't covered in the pitch. So next is Zaizon Bodo, I hope I've said that correctly, of Baby Index. Hi, I can't hear you or see you. I think you might be on mute.
Yes, now can you see my screen?
Fantastic.
Can you see the screen?
Not yet. So Baby Index, if I'm correct, is the first revolutionary saliva ovulation test app that can multiply pregnancy chances 3 to 5 times compared to conventional ovulation tests.
Yes.
Over to you. Let's start.
And now you can see the screen.
I can, yes.
Excellent. So it's, I'm Zaizon Bodo. I'm a co-inventor and co-founder of Baby Index. Baby Index is a small ovulation microscope with a mobile application that is using artificial intelligence to detect saliva crystals. That's me and my father. My father is a gynecologist, and he told me about the ovulation microscopes, and I had the idea that we can analyze crystals in the cloud with a mobile application. So how it works: this is a small microscope. You take it off, you put a little saliva on the lens, you let it dry. You can see such crystals during the fertile days. And instead of looking into the microscope, you can also take a picture with your mobile, and you have the results on the screen. The ovulation microscope market is small, but the potential is very big. This is what we believe. It's an existing analog device, and we are the first ones who complemented with artificial intelligence, making it very easy to use. There is competition in the United States mostly. Ovul is a startup who has a standalone device, and they have an algorithm analyzing the crystals already. No one is an older product with an ovulation microscope with a mobile device, with a mobile application without algorithm. And Verility is a startup that analyzes crystals in agriculture, so not for humans, but for other mammals. And the algorithm is developed by Harvard. We know all of these because they contact us because we have a patent. What sets apart? Well, first is the patent, but if we speak broadly, saliva ovulation testing can detect the real fertile days when the probability of pregnancy is higher than on the day of ovulation. This is 2 days before. And then what is the underlying magic beside the patent? It's reliable. The ovulation microscopes have already been approved by FDA 20 years ago. we have this, the patent and the microscope is reusable. So we really believe that there is something here that has a big potential. The team is small, and it's my father, Melinda, who is helping us with her marketing skills, and myself as an economist and with a background in IT. We have received very little support, but we were very happy because we could build our first prototype and the first MPV. And maybe that's it. I'm not taking more time. So as a teaser, if you have any more questions, you can also contact us at hellobabynext.eu. I'm really sorry I will have to leave. I will not be able to make it to the questions, but if you have, please address it to Melinda, and I will answer them if you need more detail.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Right, next up we have Leslie Guata of Harmonia Healthcare. Lovely to have you, Leslie. Harmonia is a platform that combines cutting-edge functional medicine with science-backed resolution for underdiagnosed, undertreated, and otherwise dismissed female diseases. So saving lives.
Yes, great, thank you. Hopefully everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, great.
It's in presentation mode, so
let's
maybe you want to, no, not in presentation mode.
Is that better?
There we go, perfect.
Okay, great. Hi everyone, I'm Leslie Gautam. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Harmonia. What our initial focus in women's health is treating nausea and vomiting, or otherwise known as hyperemesis gravidarum, during pregnancy. About 25% of women seek a pharmaceutical intervention to treat their nausea and vomiting during pregnancy. About 14% of pregnancies are quite severely impacted by nausea and vomiting, or otherwise known as HG. And those women, a third of them actually have a baby that does not make it to term. It either results in a premature delivery, miscarriage, or stillbirth, or even elected termination. Currently, women are treated by going to the ER. It's a broken care model. It's the leading cause of hospitalization in the first and second trimester of pregnancy, and has approximately $2.2 billion in direct and indirect costs as a result of treating this. The market size. So in the US, there's about 4.3 million pregnancies per year. About 70% of women experience some degree of nausea and vomiting. We're really focused on the 25% and below, those that are looking to seek some sort of intervention to treat their nausea and vomiting. And on the more severe end, we approximate about 464,000 women annually experience HG-like symptoms that require hospitalization. Today, the care model is women go to the hospital and ER to seek ambulatory or acute care. What we're looking to do is provide outpatient care for these patients and work collaboratively with OBs. We effectively are shifting the site of care to outpatient and providing continuity of care throughout the duration of the pregnancy. It produces better health outcomes and saves a lot of dollars to both patients, providers, and the healthcare system. Our care model is based on a proven clinical model. We've partnered with a doctor who has had a clinic like this for 2 years in Alabama. He's seen a 95% reduction in ER visits, and all of the services are covered under insurance. Our business model to scale is twofold. One, we will be providing direct patient care through brick and mortar centers as well as telehealth. And secondly, we will be innovating within HG and developing a prognostic test. The innovation to develop a prognostic test is based off of the research of our Chief Scientific Officer. She discovered the genetic link to HG as well as a protein biomarker, which was published in a paper in Nature in December. This is our team. We have the world's leading experts in HG. Dr. Feza, who I mentioned, found the genetic link to HG, and we've also partnered with the leading patient advocacy group, the HER Foundation. Within 6 months of founding our company, we have begun to treat patients live in New Jersey. Starting in May, we are covered under insurance, and we have enrolled over 50% of the patients for our clinical study to develop a prognostic. We're looking to raise additional capital to fund 3 core activities: continued operations of our clinical center, launch telehealth, and run our pilot study, which will have a readout later this year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right, next up is someone familiar. I'm sure I saw them yesterday. Ashley Crofton, Galena Innovations. Did I? Not sure.
Yes, we saw each other yesterday.
Each other
It was a
yesterday.
fantastic.
Lovely to have you on the side. Galena Innovations is developing the Hannah Cervical Cup that uses negative pressure to keep the cervix closed as a solution to spontaneous preterm birth. So over to you, Ashley.
Can everyone see?
Yes.
Okay. My
Wonderful.
name is Ashley Crafton, and I am the CEO of Galena Innovations. We are developing the Hannah Cervical Cup, the solution to preterm birth. I'm a labor nurse focused in perinatal bereavement and refugee health. Can you all hear?
Bit of an echo. Try again.
Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Perfect.
Okay. I'm a labor nurse focused in perinatal bereavement and refugee help. Women and children are my life's work. After witnessing preterm birth for years, my patient began to show signs of birth. We sewed her cervix closed earlier, but this tore through and she delivered a baby that was too young to survive. And I had to solve this. 15 million babies are born preterm yearly, and it's the leading cause of death for young children. Survivors face complications and hospital stays, costing the US $25 billion yearly, and there's racial inequities. For every disadvantaged preterm birth, the inequity cycle continues, and yet there's been a 60-year tech gap. Causes are varied but have one commonality: cervical change. In pregnancy, the collagen-rich cervix keeps the fetus inside the womb. At delivery, the role reverses and it then facilitates birth by changing. Positive pressure through pregnancy breaks down cervical collagen, leading to cervical change and then birth. Aside from medications that don't work and cause harm, prevention tools aim to compress the cervix closed, but this weakens the cervix and can lead to birth. In fact, cervical compression is a technique used in labor inductions to create cervical change. Our unprecedented tool is a cup, and if you all can see this, this is the cup. Our unprecedented tool works completely opposite. The patented Hannah applies tension, causing collagen regrowth and stiffness. Stiff cervices don't change, and these babies don't deliver early. Long-term stretching increases collagen strength, stimulates collagen growth, decreases collagen breakdown, and has been shown to lower prostaglandins, important lipids that mediate birth timing. We've quickly gained traction the last 3 years with our in vitro and cadaver studies and safely increased cervical stiffness by 38% in our human trial. Our team includes Cindy D'Amicis, the leading expert in obstetric device regulation, Jennifer West, with 3 successful women's health med device exits, and Donna Russell, the former director of research and development for the Global Alliance to Prevent Prematurity and Stillbirth, run by the Gates Foundation. We are now ready to perform our early feasibility study with 15 moms. Then we'll conduct a large trial, gain approval as a Class 2 medical device in the US, and begin commercialization. EU will be our second stop. Yearly, there are 1.3 million developed world Hannah candidates with a current market of 1.7 billion, addressing only a sliver of those candidates, and projected 10-year growth of 10.2%. The goal is that we improve birth outcomes and decrease hospital stays, prematurity costs, and Medicaid reimbursement losses, which are a huge drain for our customers' health systems. We'll be selling direct B2B in 3 years with a limited market release to key US regions first, laying a solid base for scaling. And we'll bring access to 8 to 14 million women in the developing world. We're raising funds for our manufacturing, regulatory expenses, and our early feasibility study, a total of 3.6 million. We have checks in the bank so far, and we'd love to have any of you involved. Over my years of work, I've seen that improvements in the life of a mother or her child improves families, communities, generations, and society. I want to be that change, and I would love to have you be part of that change too.
Thank you, Ashley. Everyone is saving lives, solving problems. It's just a huge thank you from me, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of a lot of venture capitalists and people who are invested in women's health and the future of our generation. So thank you for everything and your commitment and hard work. I think now is the time I'm able to open up the floor for questions. This is always my hardest part because I have so many. So I will actually let the audience ask the questions. I'm going to look to the chat because I won't be able to see if your hands are raised. Or maybe we go old school and you shout. So I can also start off with some questions while you're all typing over there. Let me start with Sebastian. I have a question for you. I've done a lot of work with Valley Electronics, and of course they talk about basal temperature versus core temperature. Is there a difference, and can you explain that to me?
Yeah, basal temperature once is the one measuring point a day, which is naturally the morning temperature. Okay. But we know that this 1 point measurement is not suitable really to mapping that complex biological system.
Okay, so it's more gold standard to go for core?
Yeah, not just for core, for continuous measured core. So okay. we are measuring 288 points a day. And okay. with that pattern, we are able really to precise diagnostic information.
Any plans for scale growth or expansions beyond Germany?
Yeah, of course. Next step is European Union because we have the CE mark. And then, of course, worldwide, there's an interesting market for that, especially reproductive healthcare issue.
Okay. I have a few more, but I'm gonna ask everyone if that's okay.
Of course. Yeah,
anyone else want to interrupt me? I'm probably the most curious person, and I'm not a doctor, so there we go. I ask lots of questions. Baby Index is not here. If I'm correct, he's gone. Let me just jump to Galena Innovation. Phenomenal innovation. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Question. What would the price point be for this innovation and this product? Is it too early to tell, or do you have an estimate?
No, we do have an idea. We'd like to price it underneath the cost of cerclage, which is where you tie the cervix closed. Okay. In the US, that would be around $1,500. Although all in all, for a cerclage, you're talking about the CPT code, plus the OR time, plus the physician and the anesthesiologist, which is about 10,000. So we're quite a bit below that, but we're just below the CPT code.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, is there any other device that works as a plug like yours?
Not yet. So we do have other competitors. One is Novacuff, one is Lioness out of Israel. All of them are using that compression method that does add to breakdown of the tissue. No one else is stretching the cervix in order to stimulate collagen regrowth. We're the only ones doing that.
Okay, really interesting. Okay. Anybody questions? Am I missing anything?
I might have a question also for
yes.
Ashley. You spoke about developing countries. So I don't really, I'd like to if you could tell us how this works, because I think that the conditions are very complicated. It's not just delivering a baby and then having the baby and taking care of the baby. So yeah, how do you think this could help? And in case, let me know. I can see I'm starting to know some people in that world. I might try to help you out.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Obviously, we would have to have regulatory approval even in developing countries. But the point of the technology is that it is very low tech. It's something that we can put in the hands of birth workers everywhere, and it does not take a lot of training to use. That is by design specifically for those countries. So we are lending our IP to a nonprofit organization that can help get that to there. So they can raise their own internal funds. It's not pulling away from the developed world countries that we're going to market in, while providing that care that those women need.
Right. I have another question if there isn't any I see a box here. Baby Index founder left, but as a team member, I am here. Okay, thanks, Melinda. I was going to ask what your commercial go-to-market strategy was, but I'm okay if you want me to direct that at another time, Melinda.
Okay, so I can tell you shortly, but you can also send us the question. So basically, we have our own web shop at the moment, and we are already on the market. But we would like to expand in the US. So our goal is to find investors who would help us to enter the US market because we have the US patent.
Okay, that's really clear. Thank you very much. Harmoria, I have a question. Can you talk to how much you're raising, or what does your raise look like at the moment?
Oh, sorry, was that for me?
Yes, sorry.
Oh, yes.
Leslie, I called you by your
Sorry,
brand
that's
name.
okay.
Harmonia. Sorry.
Looking to raise an incremental 750,000. We closed our initial seed in July, so same terms.
Okay. Did you have a lead investor for that?
We do, yes.
Are you able to share who that was?
Yep, Emerald Bioventures.
Yes, I think I know them. I think one thing I can absolutely attest to in the women's health sector is that we really all do talk to each other and support each other for really great deal flow. So my advice to a lot of founders who are raising and who have leads is to talk to your ventures, to talk to their peers. Sometimes we forget. Right, any other questions? I think that's it. All right. Fantastic pitches today. Thank you very much. Amalia, I think it's over to you. I'm not quite sure if there's another.
Yes, so now we will move on to the last but not least pitching session with Daniel Koppelkamp.
Wonderful.
Thank you,
to
Amaya.
all of our founders.
Thank you, Amaya. So very nice to meet you all. So I'm really glad to moderate the last stream, Healthy Aging, General Health and Wellness. I'm representing Convergence Partners today. We are a Swiss headquartered venture capital firm focusing on women's health, mental health, and brain health. So all sectors that represent large unmet needs. And we're a fairly hands-on investor. We're actively supporting our portfolio companies in the international scale-up and have a particularly strong ecosystem in Asia. So really helping companies enter Southeast Asia, China, India, which I think also for many women's health solutions are huge markets. And I also want to thank the presenters today. It is really, amazing to see this innovation, come into the market. And yeah, it really seems to be an exponential growth in tackling some of these, big problems that we have in this space. So I would now like to move to the final presentations. So we start off with Derek Sham of Cosmedical. Cosmedical is pioneering personalized gynecological prosthetics to advanced care from obstetrics to surgery to elderly care. And Derek, the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you, Daniel. Every woman is different. We are digitizing gynecological devices for precision care to improve the lives of millions a year, much like how Invisalign has done in the custom dental industry. Now, you might be wondering, why is a person like me starting a women's health company? Part of the story is that I'm an ex-engineer turned general manager of a successfully exited urological diagnostic company. But the real story involved my grandma. My grandma suffered from pelvic floor disorders. I knew some of the best doctors in the world for her condition, but still had to watch her suffer in pain and discomfort for years. Now, my grandma is not alone. This is a group of conditions that will affect half of all women within their lifetime. Prolapse and incontinence are shrouded in shame, silence, isolation, and lack of provisional care, meaning that existing solutions fall short. Pessaries, temporary prosthetics placed inside of the vagina to support and align pelvic organs. come in over 100 different shapes and sizes fit by trial and error with poor outcomes. Physical therapy is the fastest growing subsegment. Pelvic PT is the fastest growing subsegment in physical therapy, but has limited effectiveness. Surgery in this field has been mired by over 100,000 lawsuits associated with transvaginal mesh, and the replacement surgery native tissue repair has a 50% 5-year reoperation rate. Now, today, there exists billion-dollar personalized medical device markets because every human is different. All of them operate off of the same revenue share business model that help to drive improved access and quality of care. At COSM, we're developing Gynethotics, the world's first personalized vaginal devices. It's really a digital platform that includes diagnostics for precision, AI-driven cloud software to streamline workflows, and 3D printing to manufacture life-changing devices. Now, I only have time to tell you about 2 of our products, the first of which is now Health Canada and FDA cleared within the last 6 months. We are the world's first and only personalized gynecological devices, and we have 4 patents to date with 3 clinical studies complete. Our first clinical study demonstrated improved patient symptoms, satisfaction, and it was preferred over their off-the-shelf pessary in every single patient. The American Urogynecology Society wrote a supportive editorial stating that this demonstrated translational success, innovation is needed, and the future of urogynecology is bright. Now, that's our first product, Gynethotic pessaries to increase success, comfort, and provide a better lifestyle for women. We're presenting in 2 weeks our first product within Gynethotics recovery, helping women recover in combination with physical therapy after childbirth, alongside post-surgical wearables to improve surgical outcomes and lower reoperation rates. Gynethotics is a $5 billion serviceable available market, and we've made some exciting progress to date. Patients that have bought the devices have stated my Gynethotics is magical. It gives me my freedom back. We have 20 providers contracted with over 300 leads in queue, and we've started receiving our first health benefit coverage letters with the same type of coverage that custom orthotics and dental currently have. From a top-down perspective, simply by disrupting 10% of current pessary sales, we're generating about $100 million in ARR. My team and I systematically update a financial model from a bottoms up towards achieving this milestone while improving the lives of 1 million women. I feel blessed to be leading an experienced and passionate team, partnering with world-leading key opinion leaders across the entire care spectrum. We're supported by leading VCs, providers, industry, and government partners. And we're currently raising a $5 million round, a third of which is soft-circled, to grow our first-in-class data set, expand our clinical evidence, scale our commercial operations, and drive reimbursement coverage for a critical condition that requires additional support. We're tackling a massive market opportunity affecting half of all women. We have positive clinical data towards a new product category. We're the world's first Health Canada FDA cleared personalized gynecological device with an exciting commercial pipeline. And we're developing a novel data set in women's health where there is no data and with an established and expanded IP portfolio. If you're interested in joining our microcosm, we would love to chat with you on our fight to advance the macrocosm of women's pelvic health. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Derek. Congratulations to your progress to date. Very impressive.
Thank you.
So we take questions after all the other pitches. So our next guest is Gabriela Rojas of Sin Reglas from Spain. Sin Reglas is a digital community that integrates diagnosis, health, education, support, and other verticals, all related to menopause. Gabriela, we look forward to your presentation.
Hi, how are you? I'm from Mexico.
Oh, sorry, from Mexico.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you. Give me a sec. So hi, everyone. I'm Gabriela Rojas from Sin Reglas. Imagine the story of women in menopause. It's a story of a taboo, of a lack of knowledge, a lack of care, and about loneliness. Our mission is to transform the experience of menopause for all women. We have a huge challenge in front of us. 8 out of 10 people know nothing to little about menopause. 9 out of 10 menopausal women have symptoms. 1 in 2 women report that menopause has an impact on their work, and 1 in 2 women is diagnosed with a concurrent condition. 40% of the workforce in Latin America is in menopause or will be in menopause. Menopause costs a lot and will cost even more. According to Forbes, the cost of the burden of menopause on global economy reaches $810 billion globally each year. And why now? The potential of the menopause market in Latin America will be worth $53 billion by 2027. And as the population ages, this market will only get bigger. We are the first femtech focused on comprehensive menopausal care in LATAM, and we differentiate ourselves from other femtechs in the UK and the US. Investing in solving this problem is a logical decision for companies and organizations. First, talent retention and increased productivity. Second, reduction of absenteeism and reduction in health expenses. More women leaders. We have 2 models, a B2C and a B2B2C model. In the first one, we integrate community and conversation, an online diagnostic test for called the Meno test, health education and prevention, Meno coaching, which are women's circles that support women at this stage, and the first virtual clinic for women over 40. In the B2B2C model, we work with companies to build inclusive workplaces for women in menopause, starting with a diagnostic, awareness-raising workshops. The companies offer support groups and virtual clinic as a benefit to the women at this stage. And finally, we help them design their inclusion policy for women in menopause. The B2B2C plus the B2C model plus the foundation create a synergy between the 3 of them. The first one helps you acquire users for the second one. We have a portfolio of corporate, pharmaceutical, and government clients, and we're fueling a women's movement in Latin America and transforming their menopause experience, holding the women by their hand along the way. We're having impact in terms of access to knowledge and quality comprehensive menopause care with gender perspective, improved well-being and better health, and more inclusive and discrimination-free workplaces. We're contributing to the SDGs. We have the vision to transform the menopause experience for 1 million Hispanic women for 2027. We have a growth plan that includes the exponential growth of the B2B2C model and the international expansion. We have projected sales that grow year by year. Sin Reglas is founded, funded, directed, and operated by women for women. We have an interdisciplinary team. We have received several recognitions as one of the most innovative and disruptive health techs in LATAM, and we just won the Women Empowerment Award in 2024 in Berlin. We have the vision, the plan, the team. We need you. We need impact investment for $500,000 to sophisticate the Meno test, improve the product and user experience, automate our processes, and create the marketplace with everything for menopause. We also need partnerships to expand our B2B2C model. We're committed to gender equality, solving a women's problem that affects all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gabriela. Again, so questions will be asked after the final 2 presentations. So we're moving now to Hormona, welcoming Jasmine Takeson. Hormona is reinventing hormone health for women through AI and at-home testing. Jasmine, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Let me move you guys so I can put this on full screen. All right, can you see that okay?
Yep.
Cool. Hi, I'm Jasmine, CEO and co-founder of Hormona. We're empowering women to live better and healthier lives through taking control of our hormones with the help of AI and at-home testing. Hormonal health sits at the very center of women's health, impacting every aspect of our lives on a daily basis. Today, 80% of women suffer from a hormone-related issue, which in turn affects our menstrual, reproductive, and menopausal health, as well as our general well-being. But the biggest problem of all is that hormone conditions cannot be diagnosed with a one-off blood test. So Hormona is revolutionizing hormone health through AI and at-home testing. Thanks to our patent-pending innovation, women can easily measure, track, and optimize their hormone levels from home. Combining an individual's hormone test data with symptom and cycle data in the Hormona app, we offer the world's first end-to-end solution for hormone health. To put it simply, the Hormona app empowers women worldwide to live happier and healthier lives every single day. Our easy-to-use urine tests are the first non-invasive, fully quantitative, at-home hormone test, testing the most essential biomarkers when it comes to hormone health. You simply dip the test in your urine sample, scan it with the Hormona app, and receive your test results within 15 minutes. Our business model is a subscription model, direct to consumer, and we've seen strong organic growth since the launch of our app 12 months ago, with over 55,000 registered users. Further, we have a 20% month-on-month growth rate for paid users, and we expect to hit 1 million ARR in early 2025. Hormona's goal is to follow a woman from her first period to her last and through all the hormone changes we go through, and our user base showing that we're doing just that. Women in our app range from the age of 18 to 50 plus, and our app has to date been organically downloaded in over 185 countries, showing the need for a global leader in hormone health. Our data also tells us that our customers really love our product with a 12-month retention rate of 88%. What makes us unique is our holistic approach to hormone health and not just niche areas. Compared to period tracking apps, we are tracking and supporting the entire cycle, focusing on the phases where our hormones actually fluctuate. While compared to other testing companies, we are the only fully quantitative urine test for estrogen, progesterone, and FSH with 90% accuracy across the entire clinical range. Not just at determining threshold values. There are many more differences, such as our solution not requiring any separate hardware, or how we provide users with actionable insights based on their results. But the main differentiating factor is that the core of our product is our app. Everyone else in this space have focused on their test first and expected users to want to test their hormones without really knowing why, while we've built a powerful platform for hormone health, including a community, educational content, tracking functionalities, so women have learned about their hormones long before taking their first test. This gives us a natural sales funnel and means we can also get better insights to our users since we have historical cycle data, which is crucial in understanding someone's hormone health. Our strategy and brand building has always been around focused on building understanding of the importance of your hormone health for your general health and well-being. So before launching the test, you have to have all that understanding, and that's how we can truly be that end-to-end solution. Hormona is continuously growing thanks to our amazing team of individuals that not only possess the right skills and experience to make this happen, but they also have a strong passion and a shared personal interest in improving women's health. And the beauty of the product we've created is that these exact same 3 tests and app can be used across any female hormone-related problem ratio. With a simple repackaging of the same 3 tests, we can, for example, be used to detect and manage menopause, diagnose PCOS and PMDD. So the hard work is done. Our products are here. And over the next couple of years, we plan on deploying them across a range of hormone problems, acquiring 1 user group at a time. We're currently raising 3 million and are evaluating term sheets. So if you would like to be part of our journey to change the future of women's health, I would love to talk to you in the next couple of days. Thank you.
Many thanks, Jasmine. Good presentation. So we are now coming to the final presentation. Welcoming Kirtika Vameswaran of Vital Start Health. And Vital Start Health is commercializing an evidence-based, equitable virtual care delivery platform utilizing virtual reality. Kirtika, look forward to your presentation.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. I hope everyone can see the slides.
Yes.
It is great to be here and excited to share about Vital Start Health. Our vision is to be the trusted mental health companion for the complete women's health journey, right from prenatal health into menopause, oncology, and beyond. And I'm Kirtika Parmeshwaran. I'm a Wharton alum and the founder and CEO of Vital Start Health. I'm really passionate about this space because I've personally been through postpartum depression and come face to face with the stress, anxiety, the discrepancies, and stigma in the healthcare system. And we want to cut through all of that, as we go after mental health and equity in women's health using newer modalities such as virtual reality. And this is an enormous space looking at 500 billion as a global market with 50 billion in the US, and going after employers who are seeing maternity as a key expenditure right now. So we're looking to start there as a beachhead and then go after the other areas. A unique thing we're doing in our platform is also including the dads and partners into the care continuum. And the way we're doing this is through a platform, Courage, that includes a virtual care delivery platform using mental health care coordinators as well as practitioners, a VR app along with a headset, and a measurement-driven approach using analytics. And all of this is covered by health insurance in the US. That means we can work with any payer in the US and get all of this to parents at zero cost to them today. Really excited about that. And along with our platform, we also have a comprehensive program that looks at family building, the pregnancy and postpartum journeys, including NICU, loss, and other nuances that you may see in the space. And we're doing all of this in a B2B fashion, looking at reimbursement-based models because equity is so core, especially in the US, because the incentives for women's health, especially maternity, are not the way we would like it to be. So what we're looking at here is a lifetime of revenue of around 1,800 with a 240 for a customer acquisition cost, which includes the VR headset cost that we will be providing on a lease to our parents. And beyond maternity, we really want to go after emergency, oncology support, menopause, deeper into other areas of fertility, even pre-fertility. And we're looking to launch that, next year. This year, we've already launched our maternity platform. We have reimbursements coming in, and we've done a lot really going after our core segments here, employers, health systems, and OB clinics, all through channel partnerships, as well as our own initiatives through our advisors and our network in these spaces. With employers, the way this works is, we would typically be doing a pilot, like a paid pilot with a broker or an employer itself. And we're actually doing one now with a US employer that's going really well. And then we get into open enrollment in the US. And this is a lot of this that I'm talking about is in the US, but we're expanding globally in the next few years. And with the health systems, we have a couple of models. One that goes through clinical validation and more for the NICU, the labor and delivery, and one that starts at the mother-baby unit and goes into postpartum, similar to a breast pump and does not really need a clinical validation approach. So we've got both of those going on right now, and also working with OB clinics, where we're looking to provide the complete psych support for the clinic patients through our platform virtually in an outpatient capacity. We've done a lot in the last 6 months. I want to say we're seeing great progress and momentum with, Veterans Health Administration. We're looking to do a pilot with them, with Cigna, Philips, El Camino Health. We have a letter of support. We began at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia with a NICU study, and we have a licensing agreement with them. We've also gone through Microsoft a startup. Of course, Tech4Eva is something excited to go through now, but also Plug and Play and many other accelerators here with deep supporters helping us throughout this journey. And what we're really looking to do is dream big. We see VR as being a core modality that's going to drive better retention, better engagement. In our own studies, we saw 70% reduction in stress and anxiety, and also twice the healthcare net promoter score. So this can go in a deep way across multiple areas. And we're looking to reach $100 million within the next 5 years, going after all these different disease conditions, as I mentioned, and expanding globally. Our team is really stellar. And it's because of this team that we're able to dream big. I am a Wharton alum, have deep expertise across business and technology. Our co-founder, Dr. John Cho, is a professor at Penn Medicine and a neonatal quality officer at CHOP. We are a Penn company, and we have a lot of folks from Wharton and Penn in our team as well, along with us, amazing set of advisors helping us across different areas. We also have a global prior art protection through a PCT. And we have raised initial money already over 625,000 through our pre-seed raise, as well as grants and awards that we've received from the Health and Human Services, New Jersey, Science Center, Drexel, and others. Really excited. We are raising a $2.4 million seed round now, more for commercialization, platform, and growing the team. And we are at this pivotal place in the world where we know now that women's health can literally impact economies, and in a big way, $1 trillion, according to the McKinsey report. And I truly believe that. And I'd love for you to join us in this journey and help us make it a reality. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kritika. Congrats to your commercial traction. That's also quite impressive. So, let's actually start with questions to Kritika at Vital Start. So, any questions? Okay, so maybe I can start. So can you, I mean, we're seeing an increasing number of VR-based, mental health solutions, coming to the market. Where would you say is your key know-how, your core IP? Is it really in the content, that you've generated? And how can you basically sustain your competitive advantage?
A great question, Daniel. So when we look at what we're bringing to the table here, there are three parts to it. There is the platform, the program, and then, of course, the content library. And it's that mixture or the stickiness between the three that is what makes us unique. So we do have a platform that uses traditional, counseling approaches. We have our own program that we've built, but the platform extends into virtual reality. And a core piece that is differentiating for us is the clinical content. So currently we're working with Rutgers to build out some VR scenes. We have already worked with the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia on that and have that licensing arrangement with them. We will literally building real world lived experiences that our patients can go through to understand and get that preparatory guidance throughout that journey. And then we also have the coping and, mindfulness and other experiences on our platform. And I think this combination, along with that, the mental health practitioner in the loop, and being able to provide this at no cost to a parent is enormous. And that is what really makes us unique. And this is just a start. I do want to go after the digital phenotyping aspects where we bring in more device data, bring in more physical metrics, in addition to the psychometrics that we have, and drive more through AI and analytics. So I think that will enhance our platform even further.
Mm-hmm. One more question. Is the hardware, the VR hardware, also reimbursed?
Yes, exactly. So Daniel, the way we've built this, and we're using standard CPT codes, because this has been, a very big problem, is the logistics and the barrier with virtual reality has been the headset cost. So we have worked out a solution in which we can use standard CPT codes, go after this as a telemedicine platform, but recoup the money for the VR through our customer acquisition costs and through leasing. Exactly. I think that is a game changer. Thank you.
Any more questions for Kritika?
Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's
Looking
move to
forward to sharing more. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kritika. So let's move to Jasmine at Hormona. So any questions for Jasmine? Okay, so then I come in again. So first question, is this really classified as a medical product, or are you really going the kind of B2C kind of non-medical route at this point?
Yes, so we've spent a lot of time analyzing our kind of regulatory pathway, and we are launching it initially as a wellness device for hormonal wellness and for menopause. Our first regulated product is for PCOS, where we will be a diagnostic tool. So the exact same test can be a regulated product, but it's all about the intended use and the purpose for that for that product. So initially wellness, and then we're moving over to the regulated side.
And in terms of the evidence generated on the effectiveness of your tests, I mean, which kind of data have you generated on that?
So we've got a clinical accuracy report that shows up to 99% accuracy across the entire clinical range, which if you compare it to the accuracy of a finger prick blood test, which has about 50% due to like poor hand hygiene or handling errors, it's a really good one. So anyone that's interested in the accuracy of the test, please reach out to me and I'm happy to share like a full report. It's about a 10-page report on all the data that we have.
Any more questions from the audience?
One question. So with the hormonal test, the way you're planning to do this PCO test in the future, right? So the fundraise you're raising right now, is that for the current test or the PCOS test that you're planning to develop?
Oh, no, so it's the exact same test. So the tests that we have are finished, they've developed. It's about what we need to do is the clinical study for, taking the data that we collect and making sure that we can apply it in the way our hypothesis is for PCOS. So there is no more development work. What we need is a clinical study to collect that data to then be able to apply for regulatory approval.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Okay, great. So thank you so much, Jasmine. So any more questions? I guess you can get in touch directly with Jasmine after the conference. So we're moving to Gabriela at Sin Reglas. Any questions from the audience? Okay, so let me step in again. So Gabriela, you outlined obviously the ecosystem that you're building, B2C, B2B2C. So are you basically an integrator of third-party content, or have you also created own IP, own content?
No, we have created our own content.
And this is related to what especially?
The content to menopause, menopause and women's health at this stage. Yeah, but all of our content is self-created.
And this is largely educational content, or also
educational content, and also healthcare, and support groups for women. And in terms of the B2C, that's the B2C, and the B2B2C, we also have created content for companies and organizations. So yeah, it's mostly self-created.
Understood. And how does your revenue model work?
So in terms of the B2B2C, the companies pay Sin Reglas to integrate the Sin Reglas initiative within the company. And in the B2C, the women pay for the services within the platform.
Is there also a scope to, I think you're also developing this marketplace, right? I remember.
Yeah, well, we're starting to develop. That's why we need the investment to develop the marketplace. We think that in Latin America, there is no one place where you can find everything for menopause. So that's why we want to create the marketplace.
And then would you take like kind of a sales revenue share, sales commission,
yes,
from sales,
correct.
Like that? Okay. Got it. Okay. So any more questions for Gabriela? Okay, then thank you so much, Gabriela.
Thank you, Daniel.
So let's move to Derek at Cosmedical. So any questions for Derek? Okay, so let me start again. So Derek, I think you now have a fully commercialized product. I guess you're starting on the US market first. I mean, what is your general go-to-market strategy and also international strategy in terms of market sizes, reimbursement attractiveness?
Yeah, I think we're actually in commercial in Canada. We're currently raising the round to have the resources necessary to properly deploy in the US. From a go-to-market strategy standpoint, we're essentially a B2B2C pipe, B2B2C. Right now, we have over 300 leads. So really, it's a direct sales plus support through independent reps and distributors in North America. We do have an LOI under finalization to expand on that. And we're working through that. From a direct sales perspective, based upon the amount of leads that we have, we're actually really looking to resource clinical specialists first, i.e. trainers, And we will support that through inside sales and direct sales execs. From an international perspective, we anticipate a mixed growth strategy, working with distributors, local distributors as we go. Daniel, I noted that you had some expertise around that on the international side. Would love to chat and do a follow-up call if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do that. Yeah. So any more questions for Derek? Okay, so maybe I can ask one more. So Derek, you mentioned also an kind of AI element, right, in your medical device. So what exactly is that? Is that really in the development, or is that also part of the solution? And
it's
if
part
yes,
of the solution, right? To be able to deliver precision gynecological devices that impact lives, it's really, we have diagnostics to improve the way the pelvic floor is measured. Right now, it's this, right? The second piece is AI-driven cloud software that streamlines workflows and improves quality. The first part is medical image segmentation, so automatically analyzing medical images of the pelvic floor. The second part is actually predicting the designs for the clinicians so that they can edit and approve the designs.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much, Derek. If there are no more questions, I'm passing back the baton to Amaya.
Great, thank you, Daniel. So I would like to thank all the startups for their fantastic pitches, and also the moderators, so Yael, Dominique, and Daniel, who played the role of moderators. So now I'm talking to the audience. If you would like to connect with one of the startups, please scan the first QR code, so the purple one, and then you will fill in a form, and we will be more than happy to put you in contact with the startup. And then if you need more information, you can as well scan the blue QR code to access our brochure. And if you are interested in joining our upcoming events, we are organizing one in 2 weeks, yes, with the SIGPA. So the theme will be supporting women's health in the workplace. And then we will have our annual Tech4Eva conference taking place on December 9 in Lausanne, but as well it will be online. If you know somebody that has a femtech solution, don't hesitate to spread the word. We are looking for applications for the next cohort. And yes, it's the end. If you need more information, please contact us to the email address at the bottom, and don't hesitate to follow us on our social media. So thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.